In this podcast episode, host Aubrey Marcus welcomes guest Ken Sperry to explore a wide range of interconnected topics that weave together ancient wisdom, modern science, and the energetic nature of reality. They delve into human consciousness, the suppression of knowledge about energy and biofields, the mysterious Tartarian civilization and its architecture, the impact of electromagnetic pollution in contemporary life, and practical ways to restore coherence and health by reconnecting with nature and our inner energetic selves. Ken and Aubrey begin by discussing a fundamental incongruence in how humans understand and interact with the world, particularly regarding energy. They explore the idea that from physics to medicine and urban design to ecosystems, there has been a suppression or loss of awareness that everything stems from energy and vibration. The conversation touches on the Hermetic principle that all is mind, emphasizing consciousness as the primary force behind creation, rather than matter being the source of mind. They consider that consciousness may be the primordial energy weaving the universe, driving evolutionary complexity and fractal patterns found in nature and the human body. The discussion shifts to ancient global architecture, focusing on recurring principles such as sacred geometry and the use of certain materials like basalt and granite with paramagnetic properties. Ken introduces the notion that ancient round towers and cathedrals functioned as antennas, harnessing and amplifying etheric energies that enhanced environmental vitality, greener grass, healthier plants, and animals congregating nearby. This connects to the idea of a lost global civilization, often referred to as Tartaria, which purportedly mastered free energy and etheric technology. They dissect historical perspectives and artifacts, including copper roofs and stained glass embedded with nanoparticles, and reference cultural architectural systems such as India's Vastu Shastra that reinforce this energetic understanding. While skeptical of some modern Tartarian conspiracy claims, Ken highlights that knowledge of energetic architecture was present in secret or ancient societies, and that much of this wisdom faded due to systematic suppression. Ken and Aubrey analyze how, particularly during the turn of the 20th century, simultaneous forces pushed a renaissance of ether and free energy studies while suppressing such advancements. The emergence of Rockefeller's petroleum empire aligned with the petrochemical and pharmaceutical monopolies that marginalized alternative health and energy paradigms, evidenced by actions like the Flexner Report and book burnings linked to innovators like Wilhelm Reich. This era marked a decisive shift away from holistic, ether-based science towards materialism and decay-oriented energy systems. The duo explain how controlling knowledge around the ether and biofields maintains societal control by preventing widespread awareness of our energetic nature and interconnectedness. They also reflect on older historical suppressions from church and state authorities aimed at quashing indigenous wisdom and spiritual science. At the core of their conversation is the concept that health, well-being, and evolution depend upon coherence, alignment in thought, emotion, and action, and that dissonance in personal or collective biofields leads to illness and decay. They intertwine physics and spirituality by examining resonance, vibration, and frequency, highlighting that everything from atoms to human biology operates on these principles. Grounding, sun-gazing, breathwork, and living heart-centered are presented as practical methods to stabilize one's biofield, stay in resonance with the Schumann frequency of the Earth, and build resistance against electromagnetic dissonance. Ken stresses that self-awareness and authenticity, where inner thoughts, emotions, and actions harmonize, create a resilient energy field that repels incoherent external influences. The episode addresses the ubiquitous presence of electromagnetic fields, EMFs, especially from technologies like 5G, and their disruptive impact on human health and environmental coherence. Drawing on Victor Schauberger's early 20th century insights, Ken explains that electricity-dominated technology represents a decay principle that emits non-coherent fields, damaging both biology and consciousness. In contrast, magnetism is linked to growth and coherence. While acknowledging technological progression as inevitable, they advocate for personal energetics, strengthening one's own coherence through lifestyle choices and natural connection as the most effective defense against EMF overload. This empowerment replaces reliance on external devices or quick fixes, emphasizing that true protection arises from biological and energetic health. A focal point of recent interest on Ken's social media is the scientific revelation that the human heart functions not as a pump, but as a vortex, generating suction that circulates blood. This vortex represents a centripetal energy flow, metaphorically and physically aligning with magnetic principles of growth and attraction. Such findings bridge anatomical science with spiritual symbolism. The heart's magnetic field acts as a nexus between the etheric and earth realms and as a conduit for consciousness and connection. Ken relates this to alchemical and mystical traditions, wherein magnetism symbolizes the soul's attraction to the divine, making the heart central to our capacity to engage with universal energy in higher states of awareness. Ken and Aubrey emphasize the convergence of ancient esoteric knowledge and contemporary discoveries in fields like biofield science and electromagnetism. They underline that many past scientists and spiritual teachers, including Walter Russell and Wilhelm Reich, upheld integrated visions of the universe as energy first, governed by magnetic electric dynamics and consciousness. This integrated worldview challenges reductionist materialism and points toward a future where healing, evolution, and technology realign with harmonious, energetic principles. The conversation revisits the Hermetic idea that the singularity of consciousness gave rise to polarity, light-dark, male-female, growth-decay, enabling experience and evolution through oscillation and resonance. Humans embody this polarity within and without, and have the choice of embodying coherence or dissonance. This choice impacts not only individual health and consciousness, but the collective unfolding of the planet and universe. They stress that humans participate as co-creators in this grand cosmic play, balancing forces that either elevate or degrade life, and that enlightenment involves conscious alignment with love, beauty, and oneness. Addressing listeners directly, Ken advocates for reconnecting with nature, syncing with Earth's frequencies, and cultivating emotional and mental alignment as foundational for well-being. He critiques contemporary approaches that silo body, mind, and spirit, urging the embrace of holistic healing philosophies that integrate energy, thought, and environment. Grounding, breathwork, and mindful presence enable individuals to clear emotional and trauma blockages lodged in the biofield, restore homeostasis, and access higher wisdom embedded in the collective energetic matrix. Despite recognizing the challenges posed by societal suppression, environmental decay, and technological overwhelm, both Ken and Aubrey express an optimistic faith in humanity's capacity to awaken and realign with higher energetic truths. They suggest that periods of darkness and decay will culminate in renewed light and understanding, fueled by love and interconnectedness. The podcast closes on a hopeful note, encouraging individuals to listen to their inner callings, become active participants in the evolutionary process, and contribute to the co-creation of a more coherent, vibrant, and sustainable world.